beautiful people, welcome back. This is Tomi Adenoga. If this is your first time of watching any of my videos, welcome, thank you, grab a seat and welcome. Guys, I am in Canada. I relocated about 5 months ago. Quite a number of people, sorry, not a number of people, a few people that know me from back home have asked me for this, for my opinion and all that. So I'm going to be doing this video in 2 segments, because if I do just one video, it's going to be too long. They've asked me for my opinion why I prefer Canada to UK, but I was like, and one thing I try not to answer is which country is better. For me, it's not better. By the time I even finish this video, you'll be wondering what I am doing in Canada, because I am a UK girl. I call myself the Nigeria UK girl who found herself in Canada. So I'll do a part 2 of why Canada, but today is for UK. UK versus Canada, why I prefer the UK over Canada. So backstory for those that don't know, and reasons why people have been asking me, is my parents live in the UK. My own parents also migrated from Nigeria many years ago. Let's say about 20 years ago. My parents live in the UK, and I have a number, you know the way it is, when you have a number of like aunties, family. The UK is my second home. Incidentally, a number of them stay in England. Incidentally, a number of them stay in London. So when people say London, London is like London. So it's not about London, whatever. It's London. A number of them stay like in different places in London. So my mom stays there. She came visiting some weeks ago and she's back in London. So why do I prefer UK over Canada? Because guys, I'll be very honest, before I migrated to Canada, I had that hard decision. Like, I knew I was going to leave my country, I was going to be leaving my home country, but I had that struggle because I didn't know anybody like that in Canada. My husband's sister stays here and she's the only family I have here. Whereas in the UK, I have friends, cousins, friends, my mom's sisters. Like, even if I don't stay in my mom's house, there are times I even visit the UK and I don't even go to my mom's house straight. Like, yeah, there are times, like, yeah, a few occasions that probably my mom is working outside London. She's not in London, because she works outside London. She's a health worker, and many of my aunties too are health workers, so work takes them outside London. There are times that from the airport she just call me that, Tomi, I am not home, go to so person's place, and we already have arrangements. I'll land in that person's house. I'll be there for like 2 days before she comes. Or like, that was when I first used to go before I got married, that kind of thing. But after I got married, I'll just go to the house straight. So guys, why do I prefer UK to Canada? Because UK is still very dear to my heart. Okay, I itemize everything, and I'm going to be sharing them with you. So I have them written out somewhere. And yes, the number 1 reason why I prefer the UK is proximity to Nigeria. Literally, you could be asleep by 11 p.m. you have a flight to catch. By 5 a.m. the next morning, you're already in Nigeria. So whilst people are sleeping, you've already landed in Nigeria. Proximity for me is very key. UK is very close home. I'm not the kind of person that I'll totally say, oh, I'm not a Nigerian, I'll never visit Nigeria. I always have that at the back of my mind, even though I don't even know when next I am visiting. But I just like to know that Nigeria is like a stone's throw, like just like as if I can just like go. Hello, mommy. No, watch a video. Ma ko in later. You have maybe 10 minutes.
Sorry.
No problem. That's my mom. So proximity to Nigeria is very close. Like, Nigeria to the UK, you all know the way it is. 6 hours in Nigeria. It's very close. Like, you don't even feel like you're on the flight. One of the shortest places for me. The proximity is so good. Number 2, proximity to even other parts of the world. So the UK is like central. It's like UK is in the center and every other place is like around it. So UK, from there you can easily get to North America. From there you're in Europe. Like, it's very close. You can go to the UAE, if I was to travel from, isn't for Nigeria and even other places for Canada, you have to consider that journey. Like you have to literally like think like how long is it going to take me? It is far. So those little things were at the back of my mind. I was like, oh my goodness, Canada is so far from everywhere. Like it seemed so far, and I struggled with that a great deal. Like how would I cope? Like I'm going, like coming to Canada, like even our trip coming, I had to look for a flight that was not so long. I didn't want, and I was just seeing 24 hours, 27 hours, and I was like, why is this place so far? I struggle with it because UK for me was so easy. Like each time I'm going to London, like 6 hours, 7 hours tops, yeah, there, you've already gotten there. And I like night flights because that means that you've not even really lost anything. As people are saying good morning, you've landed. So it's, and the time, yes, it's not even just about being far, then the time difference. 5 hours behind, oh my goodness, it's still a struggle for me. It's still a big struggle for me because I try to keep up with people back at home, people in Nigeria, trying to operate on the Nigeria wavelength and all that. But I'm getting used to it gradually, and let's see how it goes from here. The third thing I love about the United Kingdom is the community. Like guys, I love that so much. There's community here too, so I would even advise anybody, if you're coming to Canada, I know some places might be more affordable and all that, but for me, I am big on community. It's not like I see people are knocking on my door every day, but somewhere that I can even see people, like, and like for me, it's a lot more mental. It's not like as if I go visiting ourselves and all that, but knowing that there's someone around, that kind of thing, it's a lot. Like you go to church, you're seeing people of like minds with you, your kids can play together, that community. I don't want to trade it for anything, so I like to like gravitate towards where there's community. Thankfully, a lot of people are migrating to Canada now, and please, people should come so that we have more people, okay? Please come, I beg you. But UK has established that you find a lot of that, even in all those places that, even if you're not in London, even if you're in like in Birmingham, in Manchester, you are in Carlisle, you're in the Wales, you will find people. That's one thing I like about the UK. People are like, you find people and you can find your own people. You have the community. As to the United Kingdom, food is cheaper. That's my number 4. That's my 4th point. Apart from the fact that there's inflation and there's global recession and all that, on a normal day, food is supposed to be cheaper. Food is cheaper. I mean, I know this one for free. When I'm in the UK, the way we shop for food is not the way we shop for food over here in Canada. Like, food enters easily, like, apart from Brexit and all that, even with all that, it's not so bad. I know it has gotten so high. It is high on, like, let's just say, all things being equal, food is quite okay in the UK. Oh, is that supposed to be a rhyme or something? Food is quite good, like African food. If you're looking for African food, there are some times that my mom will even be like, don't stress yourself, I will find this thing easily in the African store. Do you get? But over here, because of the distance and everything, the distance to take them to transport it, they have to factor that in. So you have to consider all that. You can easily find food, like, and there's something my mom says that in the UK, there are high streets everywhere. Like, before you go how many blocks, you've seen somewhere you can buy this one easily. You've seen this corner shop, you can buy things easily. Over here, you travel first. Do you get? So I had that story when I first visited North America. I was in Texas. That was the first time I experienced that, and I was like, why is this place not like London? Like, you have to walk. Did I say walk? You have to take Uber before you can go get something. UK is almost not like that. There are some places like that, yes, but on the average, before you find, you won't look too far before you find what you're looking for, which is not quite the case over here. So that is why I'm choosing UK. Like I said, this video is not a comparison video. These are the reasons why I prefer UK. I'm coming back with another video why I prefer Canada, okay? So number 5, better weather. I know those in the UK will say, oh, the weather sucks, in quotes, the weather is this and that, but you know that you can't compare with Canadian weather. I have been through 3 weathers in Canada: spring, summer, we are currently in fall. I've not experienced winter yet, but from what they've told me, UK weather is still better. That's one thing I know. I know even without experiencing it. At least we can see, we can read. I've never seen where in the UK it's getting to -40 or -30 something. I know they experience that a lot in Canada. They don't experience that in the UK. I have experienced 4 weathers in UK. I know it gets brutally cold, but you can multiply that by 2 or 3 in Canada. So overall, I will still say the UK weather is still fine. You can still just wear whatever you're supposed to wear, just be well guided, you will be fine. The only downside to that is that maybe because Canada is brutally cold, one thing I can tell you for free is that I think you experience the cold more in UK in a way because of the cost of like electricity and all that. So UK is not somewhere that you can easily like, you can't power sometimes because of the way things are. You might not be able to power your house and heat it all through. Unlike in Canada, if you don't heat, you can almost not survive. So by the time you enter your house in Canada, you'll be fine, which is what my sister-in-law told me. Even when we came, it was really cold outside, but inside the house, like my kids were wearing boxers and like everything up and down. In UK, I could not do that. Like you still have to like carry blankets, wear socks. Here I almost do not do that. I know it will get to that point, but the kind of spring I experienced here and the spring I experienced in the UK is totally different. Like I still carry blankets, I have to carry a small heater close to me. I was almost not doing all that here. So that's one thing I know. I'll tell you, I think UK has better weather overall. I like the fact that the UK is conservative. Like some things that I know, everything is becoming a free world now. You do whatever you want to do, freedom of speech, freedom of this and that and all that. I know it is there, but I can still say that the UK is still a little bit better. They are still conservative. They're still conservative in so many ways. So there are some things that they might not go all the way, which Canada will. If you get what I mean, you get what I mean. Canada will go all the way, maybe because of everything. They're welcoming everybody and all that. UK, to an extent, they're still conservative to some things. I think when they want to go far, they just remember themselves and they're like, no, we're not doing that. UK, I like them for that. So things that are so bothersome and all that, UK can be a bit conservative. Does it have its downsides? Yes, but overall I will still choose that conservatism over like total freedom, so to say. I think entrepreneurship really thrives in the UK. Yeah, the entrepreneurs in Canada, but I think people like, maybe I have not met a lot of people yet. Maybe I'm just used to the UK, like left, right. I'm seeing shops, I'm seeing this person doing this and they are totally fine. Some people, many people I know do not actively have like 9-to-5 jobs. They don't do all those kind of jobs. They do their businesses and they are fine. I know people that all they do has been their African stores for years, hairdressing and all that. Canada, people are still like, okay, should I really do this? They are there, but let me just say that maybe it's not as buoyant as the UK market. In UK, it seems like it's saturated, but everybody still has their place. Like you still see people thriving. You see different from people from different cultures, everybody doing whatever they want to do. They're okay running their businesses, like they own. It's easy for you to get a license and to start doing what you want to do and all that, and you're making your money. I see a lot of them. Like a number of them, they don't have like jobs that require them to like go into like physical offices and all that, and they're doing very well. So for me, I think entrepreneurship, maybe because I'm big on entrepreneurship, I see a lot of entrepreneurs in the UK and they're thriving really well, they're doing very well, they're doing fine, and they're living very well. So that's another reason why I love the UK. Number 9, the currency. I don't need to say so much about this. Well, card. What card is? I'm speaking for exchange rates in my home country against the naira. So I'm benchmarking the naira with CAD, that's Canadian dollar, and the pound. The pound is the strongest, okay? So that is one reason why I like UK. Pound is really strong. So the amount I will use in exchanging 100 pounds, $100, like, okay, what 100? how will I put this? The currency is strong in the UK. We all know it's almost as ×2 of what you'll be getting for Canadian dollars. The currency being strong is another thing or another reason why I love the UK. It has its positives, it has its negatives. I just try to look for ways it can help me. It might not be very okay when you're benchmarking it. On the other side, it might not favor you. On the other side, it might favor you. So like, let's say you're in Nigeria, you're trying to go to the UK, you'll be spending a lot more to go to the UK than you coming to Canada, because the exchange rates can be very brutal. But it now depends on the side you're looking at it from. So overall, it affects everybody in any way, because I still have a business back home in Nigeria. So it's affecting, it's not something that you gloat and you'll be so happy and you clap your hands about. So I just like welcome everything, and you just have to look for a middle ground to stand for that. I love the language. Like, I love the way the British people speak. Oh my goodness, that is one thing. I am not so big on like, oh, phonetics and everything. I try consciously. I studied mass communication, and English is supposed to be like a strong thing for me, a strong point for me. But it's not just about speaking and speaking phonetics. I believe in elocution, and that is one thing the language gives me, the Queen's English. I love the way their language is very sing-song. Would you like a cup of tea? Oh my goodness, guys. I love the language. I love the language. Like, when I see my cousins speaking, I can just look at them like, so it's not about phonetics. I don't know how to put this. It's just about you speaking well, and you like having that like cohesion, if you get what I mean. Cohesion, the syllabic way, like it's moving. It's just not about you, like, if you get what I mean. So I like the cohesion. I love the way the words are picked, that kind of thing. So if there's anything I really like, if I'm going to change my way of speaking, I might be in Canada, but I'll speak like a British person. I'll speak like a Briton. Because I used to get that in the past. Like, people look at me and they're like, oh, you speak so well. I'm like, oh, really? I speak well? Okay. I know when I am in England, I try to speak very well, because of course, you won't even know. It's not like as if you're trying to like be a copycat, but you have to speak in a certain way so that they can even understand you. That's the thing there. So like, my mom would tell me, I stammer sometimes, so I tend to like slur my words, or I tend to like jumble up my words, and it doesn't like make meaning, it doesn't like come out the way I want it to come out. Do you get? So but each time I'm with them, I cool down, and they'll be like, okay, just talk, like, okay, like that kind of thing. Even my mother, like my own mom, she teaches me, she lectures me like, okay, this is how you talk and all that. So the language is so beautiful. That's like the most beautiful, apart from French, the most beautiful language I love, apart from like my mother tongue, is French, and the British is French and British English, to be clear. Not just English, British English, okay? Better transportation, guys. This one is a no-brainer. Hey, goodness, I entered Canada and I was humbled. I am grateful for the transportation I got in Canada, but I know the UK's is better. Even in places that they complain that transportation is not so good in the UK and all that, guys, you guys have good transportation. If you're in the UK, you have good transportation. Like, you don't need to drive, you don't need a car. You can function without a car in many places. You can take the train, different kinds of train. Is it the DLR? Is it the district? Is it the underground? Is it the, which one again? C2C? Is it the Elizabeth line? Like, from the airport to your house, my mom directly takes a train from the airport to her house. She doesn't, most times she doesn't even need someone to pick her up if she doesn't have a lot of luggage. Do you get? So transportation in the UK, that's one thing they've done so beautifully well. I love the way they plan their space. They know they don't have a lot of space, so they plan it really well, really well. I give that to them. Transportation, you can't compare it. If I'm in England, I'll be complaining about the bus times. I'll be like, it's taking so much time now. 6 minutes wait, 8 minutes wait. I came to Canada, and I experience 30 minutes wait. Sometimes I even get, even with the 30-minute wait, you even get delays. I'll be like, oh my god. So one thing that I love so much, the buses, the train system in the UK is well thought out and so good, and it functions really well. You can't compare. Even in places that are not like core London or England, they still have their own transportation, and it's not bad, it's good. Trust me guys, when you come over here, you know that what you have in the UK is good. Education, my goodness, education is so top for me, and I love the fact that some of the best schools in the world are in the UK. Like, I know they are dragging with the US, Harvard, Stanford, those ones are there, but on the second range is schools in the UK. You have Imperial College, you have University of Oxford, you have University of Cambridge. Yeah, I mentioned Imperial College already, right? You have UCL. My very good friend went to UCL. So these are the top schools in the world, and one of the top school in Canada, University of Toronto, comes like below these other top schools. So when it comes to education, which school did you go to? If you mention you went to UCL, you went to Imperial College, hey, my goodness, respect. So that's one thing. I love the education in the UK. It's not something that can be bought with money. If you go to any of these establishments, these schools, yeah, that kind of. Guys, I forgot to mention this one earlier, but this one is so vital. I have to. It's even like the top on my list, so I just have to mention this. Tax. Oh my goodness, I had a big struggle when I came here to Canada. Comparing UK to Canada, if you're buying something in like stores or anything in the UK, tax is already like calculated. So if something is £20, it is £20. You know that by the time you get to the till, you're paying £20. It's not like as if there's any like difference. Probably I'm just used to the fact that maybe my brain just interprets it in a way like everything is all inclusive. Whereas in Canada, and I think yes, in Canada and in like America, I noticed the same thing in America. When you're buying an item, a commodity, tax is usually calculated at the end like of your purchase. So it is when you're about paying that they will calculate the tax. So let's say something is like $100. Add like an additional 10% or 5% or 13% in my case, because I stay in Ontario and generally the HST in Ontario is about 13%. So they will factor in another 13% into the cost of what you are buying. So you cannot imagine, even when I bought my laptop, like I was already thinking in my head that, oh, okay, let's say the laptop was like $1,000. In your head, you've already calculated that, okay, my fee is $1,000. By the time you're about to pay, they will now calculate another 13% on that item, and that will bring it to like 1,200 or 1,300 as the case might be, or something like that. So this was a big struggle for me. Like, I just like the fact that in the UK everything is all inclusive. I don't have to bother about tax. If something is £20, it is £20. Guys, how can I forget another very vital point? Fashion. Yes, the fashion, it's a no-brainer for me. I didn't even think of buying clothes here in Canada. UK has always won my heart, or even at most I will buy clothes from Nigeria. Like, I love like ready-to-wear clothes in Nigeria. I am very big on ready-to-wear. Most people have been saying this about Canada, and I came, and to be very honest, I am not impressed at all. Most people say that Canadians are laid back in so many things, even in fashion. So UK has my heart every single time for the fashion and so many things like that. This is not even a comparison. This is why I love UK totally. I love every season fashion, winter, fall, spring, summer. I love the way people dress. Most times people even think that those in the UK don't even give their best and all that, but go to the stores, go to like even the clothes that are being sold, it gives like I'm not 100% fashion like that, but what I like, the kind of things I like, whatever I like. But Canada does not give me that, and for me, I think they are a little bit overpriced for something basic. That is my personal opinion. So that's another reason why UK for life. When I think of things like this, these are the reasons why I prefer the UK. I am in Canada. I love Canada, by the way, but these are the things that make me like, oh, should I have come to Canada, should I have considered the UK and all that. So these are my own factors. You feel free to disagree with me, you don't need to agree with me, but this is personal for me. These are the things I love about the United Kingdom in general. So guys, this is the video I wanted to share with you. You can see that this video has taken too long already. If I do a comparison with Canada, we won't live here. So I just decided to do it this way because it's one of my highly requested videos. So I mean, you are a UK girl, why are you in Canada? I know, I know. I'll talk about that when I do the second part of this video. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss anything. I am sure you don't want to miss the part 2. I'll be dropping that one too very soon. I'll see you in subsequent ones. Stay healthy, stay beautiful. Bye.